And yes, we are live. Thank you again for joining me today. It is Help My Child. My children are always fighting. So that means if you have just one child, you might not have this problem. And then if you have a set of twins like me, then welcome. Welcome to the fight. And there's something that I hear parents say a lot. And most times when I hear it, I'm constantly in the place where I'm thinking, okay, what exactly is it? I hear parents say sibling rivalry is normal. That's not true. My name is Wendy Oloy, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parents Academy. I am called Africa's number one parent coach. Scratch it. I'm your very number one parent coach. If you are not here, please let me see you. Let me see you get in here. And if you have a family or a friend who will benefit from this, any parent in your corner should be in this class. Help my child. My children are always fighting. All right. Let me see if this is your first time of joining me on a Tuesday live. Let me see you in the comment section. Say hi, or you say yes, or you say hello, whichever one, so that we can welcome you properly. Welcome to Tuesday Live. We're constantly here, always here, every Tuesday, only on our YouTube channel only. So share this link with someone, share this with the family, so that you will be here. Somebody said, I just read from the book, Sibling Rivalry. It's not normal, but it's common. Yes, and that's the book. Sibling rivalry is not normal, but it is common. All right. So that is the book of the month at the Intentional Parents Academy. This is what we are reading currently, Resolving Sibling Rivalry. And in the month of September, we're generally going to be talking about, transformation, how you can build a family that lasts. And that's why we're here today. Welcome here. And yes, invite that person. I'm going to say something about sibling rivalry not being, normal. Now, most families experience sibling rivalry, but it's not normal to actually have sibling rivalry in the sense of being healthy, acceptable. If it persists without guidance, then there's something wrong. Now, what's the difference? There is the difference. What's normal? Occasional disagreement over toys, attention, space, short conflicts that can be resolved with guidance. And of course, you see that a lot of children at that age actually have all of that. Temporary jealousy when a child feels left out, that is still in the place of normalcy. What is not normal? Rivalry. Constant fighting, aggression, and name calling. No, it's not normal. One child always feels inferior or unloved. It is not normal. Parents living as full-time referees instead of their children learning resolution skills. It is not normal. Rivalry that damages self-esteem, sibling bond, family peace. It is not normal. So sibling rivalry, when unmanaged, can actually grow into resentment, low self-esteem, and even lifelong strained relationship. That's why it's not something you dismiss and say, oh, they're just being kids. And instead, the role of a parent is a place where you turn rivalry into relationship. And that's part of what it is that we're going to be doing at the Resolving Sibling Rivalry course also that we're doing here. We started running this course last year. It's one of the core courses that we run in the academy, and I encourage you to be there. Let me tell you a story. My dad and his brothers have been at loggerheads for the past, I don't know, since I was born. And I'm sure that most of us in this space have the same story. I grew up seeing my father and his siblings bicker. And I did some research because I grew to see my grandmother grow really old. She died at 100 and something years, my grandfather same. And I started to hear that the unresolved fight, the unresolved short conflict, the unresolved temporary jealousy that were not dealt with when they were children are the things that have resurfaced in these adult lives till today. My dad is 74, and trust me, my dad is 75 actually. And trust me, he has brothers His brother who is about 65, they are still at that edge. It's still not being done. One thing that I noticed, these people lack skills to be able to resolve conflict. And it's not something that you just wake up to know. You don't know it because you are siblings. No, you learn it. It's very intentional. Thank you so much, Som Toasted. I read chapter 4 yesterday. I'm in shock at the level, the stories of sibling rivalry. All right? This is very important. Apostle Ifeanyi said you rested from my troubles, but I'm coming back. I see you, sir. Ifeanyi, Victor, and it's been an amazing, awesome time with you. I hope you're coming for my intentional parenting journey. Yes, I'm sure you are. And it will be an honor to hear your story. All right. Lots of adults actually lack, these skills. Every time I sit down with my dad and his brothers or his siblings, even the girls, I see them, they want to resolve one conflict, everybody's shouting, everybody's screaming, everybody. I'm like, what's happening here? I said, I am 40 today, and I still see adults, people who have become grandparents, still not being able to actually deal with their issues. So recently, my uncle calls me out of the blue. Somebody's asking what's the title of the book. It's called Resolving Sibling Rivalry. All right, you can get it on our Amazon is currently going through some technical issue. We're working on it. You can get it. We have a distributor in the UK. You can actually get it from our distributor in the UK. All right, all you need to do is to send us a message. All right, the details are on my screen. To send us a message to get the book, and you just send that, and a link will be shared. Or you can see the link also in the comment section, the distributor's link. All you need to do is to click on it and then share with us. All right, Tim, can I have the details of the book on the screen, please? All you need to do is also click on it, the link, and then you will be able to find these links in this place. All right, so that these are the details, but you can see the link in the comment as well. All right, you can see the link in the comment as well, so that you will see start, so you'll be able to click on it. So I was telling a story. So recently, I saw I think that was my uncle who lived in the US, calling me and asking me some questions, trying to complain to me something that happened between him and my dad. Look at me now, I'm 40. Come on now. This is my 40 that I entered, and I said, let me enter into rest, but they want to drag me into family matters. And then after I picked up the call, I said something to my uncle. I said, I've been a child, and now I'm 40. You guys are still telling the same story. Do you know when I told him I was 40? He froze. He said, you're 40? I said, yes, uncle. That's to show you how long you guys have bickered for no just cause. Yes, I'm 40. This is a story of most of us. This is a story that most of us have with our, siblings or even our parents. The problem was that the people who raised them assumed that they will automatically become that person who will be close to their sibling. They won't do something. They say, oh, he's your sibling. It doesn't matter. Oh, no, it matters. And believe you me, nobody, when I mean nobody, actually begins to see their sibling as someone who will be able to work with them without you building it. And it's also not about it being your sibling. If you lack a skill to be able to resolve conflict, whether with your sibling or with your spouse or with your colleagues, it's going to be same thing. Same thing. So sibling rivalry, when unmanaged, will grow into resentment. That's why you don't dismiss it. The role of parents is to turn this rivalry into relationship. One of the things that we're, constantly doing is to teach emotional intelligence, build culture of fairness and respect, give each child individual attention so that they don't feel that they need to fight for your love. Set up systems for resolving conflict without favoritism. Some of us are still angry with our older siblings because an older sibling in our families were made authority figures, which is wrong. An older sibling is not a parent. I say that again. An older sibling is not a parent. An older sibling is still a child in the home. But in our time, it was a thing. It was a thing to actually make older siblings parents over you. So they take all manner of charges, and they hit the younger ones. They treat them sometimes with so much meanness, and sometimes this meanness are the meanness that were actually learned from you, the parent, which is a real problem. So one of the things that we've done is to create a framework for you that can prevent rivalry from taking root in your home. Prevent rivalry from taking root in your home. You can actually do it. All right? I see Remy say, this is what is going on in my home at the moment. Between 3 kids, 2 are teenagers. I've almost finished reading Resolving Sibling Rivalry and Getting Clarity. I love it. I will advise that you also get into the Dealing with Sibling Rivalry course. In that course, you're going to have a lot of practical steps on the different things when it comes to, the things that you need to do and all of that. It's a course that we're running in the first week of October. But believe you me, that is something you need. You're going to get tools that will equip you. You're going to get framework, all right? Framework to prevent rivalry from taking root. Okay, I call it the sibling peace framework. It wasn't something we ran this course last year, but it wasn't something that was there. I am building the the sibling peace framework that you can use at home. Think of it as a structure that will reduce rivalry and then teach that teamwork. All right, where we are going to actually put a lot of things in place that will help you to build that system you require. Now, let me let me go back a little bit. Somebody said I was one of the people fighting the myth of oldest children as the oldest child. The book proved me wrong. I didn't know that I don't have authority on them. It causes a lot of trouble. Honestly, it does. There are 3 things you must never do when your children fight. Somebody help me put it in the comment section. 3 things you must never do. I call it the never do's. The moment you see your children fighting, what must you not do? Don't play referee who picks sides. Give me an instance. All the times that you have played referee, what have you gotten out of it? So I have a set of twins. They are both 16, almost 16. We are there a few months to 16. And every time that they are fighting and you go in, I learned by experience. You go in to go and say, oh yeah, this person, you did this, you didn't do this. You're in trouble. Because it will be used against you in the court of law. Never play referee. It is not in your place. You are not Judge Judy. When you always declare winner and loser, you plant seeds of resentment. What do? Be a coach. Have you ever seen coaches in the field? Have you ever seen a football coach? That's who you should be. Guide them to resolve the conflict together. Except your children are in harm's way, never jump into a fight. They are just talking, everybody is, never jump in. Referee is not your place. Be a coach. Guide them, solve that conflict together. That's number 1 thing you want to do. Number 2, don't compare them to each other. Never compare your children to each other. Why can't you become like your sister? Every time you are the one causing trouble. It only fuels rivalry and insecurity. What you need to do is affirm each child's strength without using the other as a measuring stick. Never, ever do that. The other child is not a measuring stick. The other child is not a standard. The other child is also a child on their path. The other child is not a measuring stick. The other child is not a standard. The other child is on their path, just like this other child is also on their path. So never compare them. Right? Number 3. Who is here? Can you hear me? Can you see me? And if you have not joined now, all right, you're just joining, please invite your siblings, invite your family and your friends. Let them come and join in with us. And if you've not shared this link, take a minute, share the link, and let everybody come and hear you. All right. Mercy says, please click the button and share. Thank you very much, Mercy. All right. That's, when we say don't compare, these things are very subtle. If I do a math now, and I say, or if I do a survey now, a rough survey, and I say, who are the people who compare their children with? They say, no, I don't compare. Oh, I believe in the deviation of my children. But it's not true. The moment you actually say things like, it's always you. It's always you. Why must you be the one? You are comparing. You are. You are benchmarking them against whatever it is you think is that standard. Or you say, even in subtle tones, you know, your brother has gone to this place, never looking for trouble. Or you even say things like, I raised this your first brother. I didn't experience this. I never experienced this kind of thing. Ah, I never experienced this kind of thing. But with you, I'm experiencing. You have compared, sir. Ma, you have compared. You have compared. But you don't even know when you do it. Most times we do it and we don't know that we're doing it. And most times we even compare in our mind. So it shows that you are also comparing in your words. So in your actions. So you're not really saying it. But in your actions, what you do shows that you've compared this person to this person. A child and a child can be fighting, and then you tell the other child, this other one who is the troublemaker, you saw, yeah, come and sit down beside me. It's okay, go to your room. By your action, you have showed. Oh, yes, you have. There's something that you have passed. So, when we talk about comparison, quite a number of people, come and say, I don't compare. But when you think about it deeply, you actually do compare. Even you, the most intentional parent, will compare. What is going to help you is what you know, is the intentionality of your journey. That's what helps you to, to the point where you now say, let me not do this like this. All right? Let me not do this like this. Let me not, happiness that we are always very careful not to compare. Our daughter and her younger brother. So her younger brother was born in the inner circle, and then the daughter came in and met the inner circle. They can't be the same. And if you're not careful, you will compare them and you actually cripple them. And sometimes in that thought of, this child is extraordinary, it's actually comparison in that thought. That's why you need to be more careful. That's why you need a learning environment. If you are not learning, you will make a mess of your parenting. And I'm serious. Even the best of us, these things catch us up. The best of us. Oh, the best of us. The most intentional of us. I have a set of twins, so I know what I'm talking about. You are in a place where you're thinking, this person does this thing better, and all of that. Are there people who do things better than the others? Yes. But you need to be careful not to present it in such a way that there is a better. It is presented in such a way that there is a path. So this person does this well. This person does this well. And it's okay. There's a path. Then you can now learn. There's a class that we call the sibling mentorship program in the inner circle. That's one of my best classes in the inner circle to teach. I had to create a system of sibling mentorship to help us in competition, to help us in comparison, to help us in raising the twins. Remember, I'm raising children who are same age, born same time. Some of the things you hear in my house are very hilarious. You hear things like, please, don't tell me that kind of thing. You're not, is it that are we not me? And then you hear things like, why are you calling me to the end of my name? Are you my mother? Or some people who want to play mother to their brothers. And you hear things like, are you my mother? Or are you my father? And all of that. Every child, two children in a home, there are always disagreements. There are always disagreements. And when you put out that disagreement, how you handle it is where it ends up. So there is no person who comes to say, "Oh, my children are not, they are very this, they don't fight, they don't disagree." In fact, if your children don't disagree, is a risk. Somebody must be lying to someone. It's a risk. It is a risk. So the fact that your children are not having conflict is something that should worry you. So I tell you a story. Someone reached out to me, and we sat in a session, booked a session, came into Family Hub. And while we were doing that conversation, the story is so heartbreaking. She had two children, 13 and 12, and incense was going on in their home, and she didn't have an idea. And when I began to ask her for signs, I said to her, was there an abnormal kind of no conflict among your children? He said, my children have always loved themselves peaceful. Nobody fought, as in nobody, that was one of the things that she said. Is it a wrong thing for them to be peaceful? No. It's a problem if conflicts don't occur. It's a conflict if conflicts don't occur. So I said to her, when you saw that there was no conflict at all, in fact, she said they never had any form of conflict as pretense. I said, that's when there should have been a trigger for you. See, you must be sensitive to your environment. Very sensitive. And so when parents come to me and say, my children are well behaved, everything about them is perfect, I don't need enough circle, I look at them and I'm in shock. Because it's a problem in itself. My children are very quiet. Quietness is not the fruit of the spirit, like Coach Ebuka will say. My children are very quiet. They don't, give me trouble. It's a problem for me. So your children don't have misbehaviors. They don't make mistakes. How are they being in the place of training? They are very compliant. In fact, I usually say that the compliant child is the problematic child. Yeah. The compliant child is actually the problematic child. So I had a case. This parent had come to me and then was telling me about what happened, to them and all of that. The son has been giving them help. And then I told her, okay, you need to be in the yard. She comes into the yard 1 year later. She found out that the child she came into the inner circle for was not the problem. It was her compliant child. It was her compliant child. And she said to me, Coach, I thought I came here for my child who is stubborn. That is story. My child who was very compliant had more issues than I can imagine. That your compliant child is actually battling. You just don't know it. So it just gives you that air of, no, all is well, all is perfect. So we're not teaching perfection. We are equipping you with skills. That's what we're talking about. We're equipping you with skills. And if you understand parenting in this day, you understand that every skill you can gather, it's your arsenal. That's what you need. That's what you need. It's not perfection. No, this what they are saying is not, it does not concern me. That's how parents sound. This one they are saying does not concern me. It's not really my thing. Sibling rivalry, I don't really fight. So I don't need to be in this class, and all of that. It should trigger you. There should be something that you're looking at. And then you are able to sit back to say, what is going on here? Always ask yourself, what's going on? Don't be too quick to jump in to say, oh, everything about this child is just working. All right? This is very important. In fact, the troubled children struggle more than you can imagine. So don't ever tell yourself that, oh, your children are perfect, they don't have these issues, and this is not for me. Every class is for you, provided you're a parent, like I say to others. Number 3, don't ignore conflict completely. Never. You brush it off and you say children will be children. It's an unhealthy pattern, and it's going to grow into deeper wounds. What do? You step in, but you step in with structure. Don't step in with shouting. Oh yeah, keep quiet. People have been fighting. Shut up, keep quiet. All the keep quiet and shut up you have done when they are fighting, has it solved any problem? No, it hasn't. It hasn't. So you need to step in with structure. You need to step in with structure. You need to teach problem-solving skills. You need to respect in that moment. Every fight is an opportunity to teach life skills. Somebody put that in the comment section for me. Every fight is an opportunity for you to teach life skills. Conflict resolution, empathy, negotiation, patience. If you misuse the moment, you feed rivalry. If you handle it well, you build leaders. Very important. All right? Very, very important. Sorry, my Facebook. Very, very important. This is very key. Okay? Let me say that again so that you can take it in. Every fight is an opportunity to teach life skills. Conflict resolutions, empathy, negotiations, patience. And if you misuse the opportunity, you will feed rivalry. If you handle it well, you will build leaders. Sibling rivalry is not a phase to be endured. It's a signal for you to teach life skills. So don't say, oh, my children are having rivalry and, they're going to pass it. That's what many parents say. After a while, they will be okay. It's not true. Your children will not be okay after a while. See, it's important that you understand that when there is this fight, there is something you can do. When children fight, now the thing that gives you the essence, right? That tells you, excuse me. The thing that tells you that, sorry, let me take some water.
Hello world, my name is Christiana Ali Ofere, aka the Microphone Empress. I am a returning level 1 inner circle parent since 2021 and already sitting and chilling in 2026 cohort 1A, a feat that I achieved since February of 2025. I encountered TIP in the year 2019, but I hovered around TIP until 2021. And what brought me in was seeing that my prospects had her testimony shared on a platform like this. I made my payments and I dived into the arc. Now I came into TIP hoping to learn to parent my children, but hey, I got self-development. I got to learn how to parent myself first. I learned in TIP that parenting is first about me, and truly I became the first beneficiary of the systems and tools I am able to implement. TIP is the life hack for me. TIP is the expected miracle if you can implement the teachings that you encounter in TIP. I run by the TIP Almighty Formula, which I call SC, SK, SY, ST square. SC is schedules, SK is skills, SY is systems, ST1 is structures, ST2 is strategies. These are the tools that replace the need for you to push, hover over your children or flog your children. So if you truly must parent in peace and calm, it means you are willing to hold yourself to a higher standard of discipline. That is truly where your parenting in peace comes. I live in the military system, and by TIP, I truly have a chaos-free life. TIP has been likened to Noah's Ark. I want to now liken TIP to an armored tank. The armored tank stands right in front of the battle line. Those inside the armored tank never get affected. Why? It's a safety system. It's the place of safety, the place of growth, the place of transformation. Are you thinking whether you need TIP? Come closer. Yes, please. You need it. Scratch all the scriptures you know. Scratch all the titles you have. Scratch how we were raised. and just come into the ark and truly be transformed. This is the call to you to come on board. TIP, no, scratch that. The inner circle is my game changer. And I found a better way to parent my children. I learned how to parent without chaos. Yes, it is possible to raise children without flogging. But hey, as Africans, we think it's not possible here. But at TIP, I learned it is possible, especially because TIP teaches you to hold yourself to higher standards of discipline so you can truly implement. Because of the truth in TIP, I am seated in the coming year. You too can be like me. Get on board. TIP payment is 120,000 naira per individual and 200,000 naira for a couple. If you break that into daily payments, that's 328 naira per day. That cannot even buy you a bottle of Coke. Will it? Your transformation, your self-development is worth more than 328 naira. Come on board, and from the very first webinar, your money would have already been completely spent. I said that, and that's on period. Yeah.
And yes, thank you so much for that break. All right. I just needed some water. Thank you so much. I saw Onyi saying she was bringing water. Yay. Okay. So I was saying that every fight is an opportunity for you to teach life skills, that conflict resolution, all of that. If you misuse that moment, you feed rivalry. If you handle it well, you build leaders. And our aim is to build leaders, not to actually feed, rivalry. Now, this is very important for you to note. You need to teach your children how to fight fair today so that they don't fight each other for life. Are they going to fight? Yes. But how do they do it is the question. Siblings can actually begin to become allies by design. Parents make the difference. Siblings can be rivalries by default, but they become allies by design. It means that you need a lot of parenting in between. Brothers and sisters who learn respect in childhood grow up into friends for a lifetime. It is not by blood, it is by what you put in. The best inheritance you can give your child is not property, it's actually peace between them. Very important, because when you leave them with property and leave peace out of it, they will destroy that property without peace. That's something you must learn. When siblings see each other as teammates, the home becomes a sanctuary, not a battlefield. And that is what it is that you're going to be looking at. Now, how do you help when your children are fighting? What do? Stay calm. Don't be a referee. The first thing you want to do is not to be. If you jump in every time, they will rely on you to solve everything. Instead, you need to begin to guide them to solve conflict themselves. So let me give you an instance. Instead of saying, give it back to your brother now, who is guilty? Let me first of all say who is guilty. Give it back to your brother now. You say, I hear you both want the toy. How can you solve this problem so that it feels fair? You have taken it back to them. And you're going to get them back to think. And you're going to build something that even when you are not there, they are going to sit together and say, okay, I think that I would need to do this, or that. Guilty as charged. I see you guys. So stop shouting, give it up to your brother now. Where are you? Where are you? Oh yeah, your brother is the younger brother. That's not fair, like my children will say. The fact that he's younger doesn't necessarily mean that he's right. Are you getting it? It doesn't necessarily mean that he's right. The person can be younger and still be the guilty one. Or the fact that he's older doesn't necessarily mean it should be his purview. Sometimes the older sibling doesn't necessarily need that thing. So you need to actually be able to put that in place and say, okay, so you both want this toy, right? Maybe because I have a set of twins, I needed to learn these things so quickly because I didn't have a choice. Because when it comes to rivalry, when it comes to fights, if you have a set of twins, then it becomes something that you need to deal with quickly. It was a major in our parenting journey between my husband and I. So instead of saying, this thing, give it back to your, oh yeah, give it back to her now. Why not say, I hear you both want it, right? Let's see. How are we going to do it so that it's fair for everybody? so that it's fair for everybody. All right. Somebody said I have, kids. I have to jump in all the time. The 1 year old has a lot of cocoa in the head and he's pushing the brother. They don't understand yet. They do understand. And that's one of the biggest problem we have in parenting. We actually think that we don't need to start early. We think we need to start when they're old. And when you start then, it becomes a big problem to deal with. And I tell you for free, if you're able to get it right now, you will have less to battle with in the future. One of the things we taught our children early was negotiation skills. So when they start their bickering, my husband turns like this and I turn like this. And then they say, "Oh, mommy, you're not going to do anything." I say, I don't really know. Maybe you guys should sort it out. It's going to be very, very, you know, good that you guys actually sit and talk about it. In fact, I remember one time my sister-in-law was at home, and then they came to my husband and they said to my husband, "Oh, we are telling our auntie to actually come and settle this thing for us." And she's literally blowing whistle and passing and saying, "La la 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 la. You guys can deal with it yourself." He said, "How come you guys actually have taught our auntie how to do these things and just behave like you people?" My husband and I had a good laugh, like we people, like there's the way we behave. Well, like it's okay. And so my husband thought it. I said, "So my sister can live long." You guys know what to do. And you know what? They were able to, I was telling my sister, I said, they will resolve this issue themselves. Don't bother. They were able to go in, sit down, negotiate, resolve it, and then come out very okay. And then my sister-in-law was like, "Wow, I didn't know about it." So that's how it is, yeah? I said, "But I told you." They actually have the tools that is required for them to do it. And you know what? We taught them negotiation skill as early as age 2. For that parent who is saying, "I am," and my children are 2 and 3, they don't understand. They were age 2. And we started teaching them how to be fair. And we started, we will not enter except there is harm. That's the only way. That's the only way we actually, that somebody's going to break their head, we're going to carry, and we never had that in our home. We never had that. Except your child is going to be in harm's way, then you can bolt in. But if a child is not in harm's way, trust me, it's the wrongest thing to do. So you need to stay calm. Don't be a referee. Somebody's saying, "How can I learn to negotiation skills?" Please join the Dealing with Sibling Rivalries course. It's going to show you how you can learn this, even if your child is age 1. All right. Number two, set clear rules for shared spaces and toys. One of the reasons there is chaos is because there are no systems and structures. Now, you need to build your children with systems, structures, and then you need to equip them with skills. I tell you something. I have a book called Discipline is Not an Emergency. Now, in this book, the major system of this book of discipline is to what I call the 5 X of discipline: schedules, structures, systems, skills, and strategies. Now, what are those? It is saying that if you are able to build a solid family framework, you are able to schedule your time, because time is a parenting test. You are able to streamline your parenting success into systems, and you are able to have parenting toolbox for success, skills, all put together. Then you create strategies to carry it out. You have less issues on your parenting journey. You have less issues on your parenting journey. Now, the reason you can stay calm when your children are bickering is that you have tools, you have systems, and you have structures already set. If you haven't done that, please don't stay calm. Don't say that coach told you, because there's what to do. That's why there is always what to learn. There's always what to learn. One of the reasons I became very intentional about sibling rivalry is because I saw it make a mess of my father's family. And I noticed something. When sibling rivalry is not sorted out in any generation, it transcends to the next and makes a mess. Because your children become whatever it is that they see. They internalize that it's okay for you to, resolve issues without building skills around it. So if you are listening to me and you are in that space where you're thinking, oh, okay, if you not build skills for your children to resolve conflict on their own, please do not try this at home. You know how you just say, oh, I heard today, Coach Wendy said once my children are fighting, I should not do anything. Ma, sir, they don't have the tools. If you have not taught them the tools, you cannot use this system I'm teaching you. So never assume. This is what happens anytime that we say, parents, you don't need to hit a child. You need to learn what to do. Parents will just run off. Hey, we learned in one class, they say we should not hit a child, though. Hey, one coach like that has one code in here. Hey, all this end time teaching. Hey, I tried it. My children wanted to become useless. If you want to go and listen to them, hey, they will spoil your children. Your children will spoil. You run off. You've not taught your children the skills to be able to stand it. You've not taught your children systems to be able to build. You've not equipped your children in anything. You just run off and say, anything they do. You've not even learned how to discipline properly. So you just say anything they do, we just be looking at them. We just talk to them. Talking is not discipline. Talking, it's never discipline. I share that in my book, Discipline That Works. I shared the 10 tools of discipline that work. Talking is not discipline. The fact that you talk doesn't mean that you're really disciplining your child. It doesn't. You can be talking and there's no discipline at all. Discipline is actually a parent problem. It's not a child problem. I say that all the time. But the problem is that every time you hear things like this, that's why there's little that the Tuesday Life can actually do for you, because it doesn't give you the structure for implementation. So it's just like the person who heard me saying, don't become referee when your children are fighting. He said, no, this doesn't work for me. My children are 3 and 1. I beg, I cannot try that. Or the person runs off and says, yes, they say I should not, my children are 3 and 1. Let me just watch them. Or more. It will be a mistake, a disaster. You need to learn what it takes. So this cannot profit you to the point where you can actually put a lot of things in place. And I'm sure that the others understand what I'm saying. Now, when I'm saying you don't need to jump in, it's because in the yard, we have learned conflict resolution. We have learned the things that you need to do. We have learned emotional intelligence. You need to be able, it's a build-up. And that's the conversation of the day. And that's why we're doing a crash course for you in dealing with sibling rivalry, where you'll be able to come and learn all of those things. So anytime that somebody who has been in a curriculum learns about a thing, it's different. And if parents attend, this class now, they'll be able to use it much, much more than you can ever get out of it. So don't be on the sidelines. Stop being on the way lines. Come and learn parenting in a structured system. That's what the inner circle is about. Stop, guessing. Stop wishing. Stop saying, are you sure that this thing it's a different conversation altogether. Sometimes I talk and I say, people say, oh, you have this inner circle. I say, yes, so yeah, that's just get it. There's a getting that you need on your journey. All right. So children fight less when rules are actually predictable. Yeah. Unpredictability is the enemy of parenting. Children fight less when rules are predictable. If you're playing with it, you have 15 minutes. Then the other person's turn. It's predictable. That's one of the things that we have to do. Okay, so this is what it is that you need to do. You and your brother is supposed to use this. So if you're playing with it, you have 15 minutes. When you're done in 15 minutes, that's it. So the gym I go to, the gym I use right here in Abuja is a very busy gym. And every time I go there, sometimes you see somebody on a treadmill, the person wants to run for 2 hours. Is it that you don't know they're in a public property. So they put a rule. Treadmill is only 30 minutes. So if you come there, you run for 30 minutes, you carry your things like your towel and move. There's an array of treadmill, but of course, you know that if you do not put rules, you don't put systems, people it's going to become chaotic. Because I've seen someone and I've seen people actually fight over treadmill. No, I can. Why have you been there? And of course, voices raising up. But since they put that rule, everybody's all right. Everybody, nobody, does anything. You know that this person just got there. It's not up to 30 minutes. So why are you? So you sit. That's what happens in your home as well. That's what happens in your home as well. All right. So you need to be able to set, rules so that there will be the things that you need. They're always fighting over toys. So your children will fight. Fight is compulsory. If you come out and say your children don't ever fight, it is a signal for danger. Put me anywhere. It's a signal for danger. But rivalry is a signal for danger also. That extreme, fight. It's also a signal for danger. Are you enjoying this class? We have a few minutes to go, but I am sure that you have invited someone to join us today. I'm really having fun having this conversation. I love the conversation around sibling rivalry. Maybe because it's something that is really dear to my heart. All right. Like I said to you, even up until a few months ago, my dad and his brother still wanted me to be settling quarrel. Imagine me now, the child. I need to be settling quarrel of two old men. I told them that their parents didn't raise them well. And the parents needed CIP academy that they didn't have. Oh my goodness. Number 3, you need to teach problem, solving language. There's something called problem solving language. The problem is that most of us don't even have problem solving language. Problem solving language. Teach them that. Give them simple phrases to use. What is problem solving language like? Instead of saying, no, you can't have it, me too, I cannot have it. Why not say, let's trade? So when we taught our children negotiation skills, we gave them light example on how to negotiate in the field. So when we travel, we team our trips, and we team our trips to a particular skill that they need to learn. Kai, you won't get it. You won't get it. Only others get it. All right. So vacations are not. They are not for show. They are not for Instagram reel. No, that's not what they are for. Vacations are for, in fact, most times inner circle parents get into the inner circle and listen to travel skills as a course in the inner circle. They're like, where have I been? I remember a parent telling me, I've been traveling to the US every year with my children. Coach, is as if I wasted my money. So there's actually there's a way to curate your holidays to be able to test the skills that you're teaching. All right? This is very important. Let's trade is the problem-solving language. Can I have a turn after you? Is a problem-solving language. I don't like that. Please stop. Is a problem-solving language. You need to teach your children problem-solving languages, not just, just talk. But it's when you know the problem-solving languages, you teach it. So what we're teaching at this dealing with sibling rivalry, this new course is that we're going to be teaching problem-solving languages. We have a 24-hour flat sale, that ends in 24 hours. 799. This early bird is a 24-hour flat sale, and in 24 hours we go to the normal fee for it. So a 24-hour flat sale, take advantage of it. All right. I'm not there yet, but TIP inner circle, I live here. Yes. So let's go. You need to also be able to build these languages. So what we're going to do in this course is to, get those problem-solving skills and how you can build it up as a parent. Most times the problem is not just our children. The problem is that we don't even know what is right. You too, do you even have conflict skills? No, now. When your husband is talking to you, you are rolling eye. When your wife is talking to you, you are shouting her down. So both of you have not even been able to, put the right kind of conflict resolution skills to be able to solve it. Part of what we did for our children is to model. So they know how to resolve conflict. They know that we disagree, but they know how. They've never seen us scream in my house. No, we don't. You're talking this person, raising voice. No, what's that? You are shouting because people disagree on something. I don't understand. You can disagree without having to put up this thing, a drama on top of it. So we disagree. And when our children even know that we disagree. Oh, very much so. When we disagree, and our children even know how to demonstrate it. So when you just see mommy and now say, don't worry, we'll sit down and talk about it. I'll give you my point. You must learn to model it. You must learn to model problem solving. Recently, my husband and I are on a project, and then we walk into the space. Some of our staff were there, and he was trying to say that this thing he had done was okay. I was like, can we take turns? When you do yours, I try mine, and then we see what works better. It's a problem solving skill. And he said, okay, he did this, he finished it. I did mine worked. Everybody was happy, and we're good. You need to be able to model these things. You need to be able to model these things. Some of us, if we have our spouses work with us in the same office, or more, people are going to become sworn enemies. Because you didn't learn how to resolve conflict. See, conflict is natural. What is unnatural is the way that you handle conflict to become, full-blown fights and anger and everything. When I see husband and wife talking to themselves, sometimes I cringe. You know the interesting thing? Most of you talk to your wives or your husbands in a very rude manner, and then you turn and say, my children are very rude. How nice. How nice. Or you turn and say, my children don't know how to resolve conflict. They're always fighting. You checked something around you. Maybe also, you're also always fighting. They're talking to you, spit in your face. You don't come, you slam everywhere. I said, these children, very stubborn. They're only fighting themselves. They are only replicating what they can see. So there's problem-solving language. There are negotiation languages. Do you know that this thing there, you go to offices, they teach you negotiation skills and languages. They tell you what you can stay on the table and tell a client. What do you think they are doing? And you think you cannot learn it to actually implement it in the family? So there are languages that need to be used. Yeah. You don't just get into a family and you are just flippant, or you just take anything you want to say. No, you don't. There are too many things that you must be able to put, together. So it's very important. All right. Somebody said, myself and my husband work in the same office for almost 5 years. And I told my Oyibo neighbor, she said she can never do that. I can imagine. Tell me about it. A lot of people come to ask me, you work with your husband, you've worked with your husband for years. How have you been able to do it? I'm like, the question is a little bit, somehow for me. Because there are ways to resolve issues, and there are things that you must let me run. You need to be able to understand the root cause. Children fight more when they are tired, when they are hungry, when they are seeking attention, when they are bored, when they lack skills. So sometimes preventing a fight is as simple as being able to build a skill. That's all. That's all. And then lastly, teach emotional skills. Conflict is a chance to teach empathy. How do you think your brother felt when you grabbed that thing? What can you do now to make it right? Over time, see, the goal is not to stop fighting. The goal is not to stop disagreements. That's unrealistic. Even with my team members, we still disagree on so many things. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to resolve it. Me and my children still disagreed today. But there was no shouting. We disagreed on something, and I was like, no, this is not how it is that you're supposed to be. And then my son, who is the chief argumentator, said to me, Mom, you have no proof for this thing that you actually really said now. And I was like, where do I start now? What is this? I said, okay, when we are done, we'll sit down and have this conversation. 2 hours later, when the conversation came up, he said to me, I actually think that maybe the way that I was thinking about it, was different from what you were thinking about it. Oga, admit that you were wrong, Baba. He now said, I think I didn't do my research well. You're going to have conflict. I didn't flip. Oh, you're talking to me. Hey, can you come all the way down, like we say in the inner circle? I would prefer that children are able to actually, fight fair with you. That's what I call it. They are able to actually talk to you and say, no, I don't agree with you. I don't know. Do you want to raise children who agree with you with everything? Means you're raising dummies. I always tell the people I work with, if you agree with everything, then there's a problem now. There has to be disagreement. Then we'll not agree when we're done. I want people who can think. I want people who can challenge me. I'm not afraid of being challenged. If you're afraid of being challenged, right? You're afraid of your child saying, of course, I'm not talking about be rude. Please don't get it twisted. You're afraid of your child saying, Mom, this thing actually was not the right way. Or Dad, don't you think that this could have been done better? If you are, your trauma is traumatizing you, like we say in the yard. You should be confident enough for your child to come and say, I don't think that was right. I give you a very typical example. We were in Japan a few months ago, or a few weeks ago. And then I walked and somebody hit me. The person hit me, oh. And you know how people are walking, they're not looking. So I was so upset to even say, oh, sorry. But it's me that they hit. So I just felt I was right in my own self. The person said, oh, sorry. And I was like, oh, it's fine. And then I passed. According to my son, I say, your pride, you passed. And didn't recognize that when you hit the person, both of you hit each other, according to him. Mom, the right thing should have been that you said, oh, sorry, as well. Because if you saw him, maybe you saw her, you wouldn't have, you know, I sat like this. I sat like this and I said, I'm sorry. I think I should have done it better. Yes, I agree. In that moment in my mind, that's the last thing I want to agree with, right? Because I was really upset that the person was not looking at me, but he made a point. He said, Mom, you too. The fact that you didn't see the person means that you were not also very watchful. So that means your own situational awareness was not aware. In my mind, I said, what is all this trouble about? The person hit me now. If the person hit me, the person has apologized. That means the person was wrong. He said, no, Mom. The next time, what is right is that you say, oh, sorry, too. And that's how it works. I said, okay, humbly. And then you pass. I don't know how you want to raise children who are not, intelligent enough to challenge the things that you think that you do. You want to be infallible. You want to raise people who cannot tell you that no, this thing is not okay. As you're telling them that it's not okay, they should be able to tell you that I should be corrected now. I don't understand. Are you the Alpha and the Omega? No, I'm not. So at the end of the day, I had to agree that while the woman passed, me too, that claimed that the woman bumped into me, I also bumped into the woman because I didn't have situational awareness, or my situational awareness was not complete. Child, your coach has suffered. But you know what? That's the idea. You're raising children to become so self-aware, to actually be able to also help you. See, let me tell you something I told my dad recently. If you raise children who can help you, when you grow old, you suffer for it. Oh, you suffer for it. You want to raise children who can direct you. That's why when you raise children who become burdens, it becomes a problem for you when you are older. A time will come when you are no longer so sound. Decision making will need someone beside you. My father-in-law is a professor. He was one of the youngest professors in Nigeria in his time. Intelligent, first-class brain, but now we're making judgment calls for him. My dad was a teacher. Intelligent, now we're making judgment calls for my father. Even though sometimes he's very stubborn, but of course, he doesn't have a choice. When you raise children who can't help you, when you grow old, you will become you will suffer, you will suffer because you know that you have raised a fool. So when they're advising you, even you are very wary. Like, hey, me that raised this idiot, how can he be advising me? The reason I was confident enough to say to myself, my son was right, is that I have raised someone who can actually direct me because he gets it. Because he gets it. There's a way he will speak. My daughter turns to you and says, Mom, that's akin to being rude, though. As in, that's very close to it. And I'm like, but that's not rude. She said, yes, but it's close. I'm like, which one is being akin and being close? As in, it's very, 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 life with us. So my husband and I are constantly, we sit down, they tell us, no, 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 this is not it. You need to raise people who can help you later on in your life. So stop running away from accountability. Stop running away from doing the right thing. This is very, very important. All right. I can see the comment section. All right, there are a lot of conversations going on in the comment section. Your is like my son. Yes, we wear humility, mother. When you finish raising people like that, you don't have a choice. All right, you are very humble. So that we're not raising fools. Let's raise people who can actually tell us how it works. All right, that is very important. Dr. Happiness said 2 days ago, my daughter told me, Mommy, you are just complaining. I don't like it when people complain too much. In my mind, I was explaining my point. I quietly wore my humility, mother. I'm a beneficiary of the travel skills. I traveled to a country some months ago, studied the environment so much and navigated with ease that my colleagues were asking me how I knew so much. Oh, shit. That's how it go. All right. Esther said the seeds need to be studied. The way he stood composed all through personal parade at PI bootcamp, that's what he does. He's actually in a military system. So, of course, it's easy for him to do all of that. But really, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed this conversation today. I cannot wait to be with you at the Thursday webinar. Yarders, are you ready? I love this month's webinar in the yard. It's coming with a lot of fire in different aspects of it. All right, but before you go, don't forget to get the books. This is our book of the month, Resolving Sibling Rivalry and the Parenting Advantage. All right, the Parenting Advantage. Okay, and then we also have Solving Family Problems through Effective Communication. All right, your family dating plan, family lunch plan. One day I'm going to tell you about this book. How to love your child more. From yelling to come, connect to correct, our very connect to correct. And don't forget that you can join us every morning at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. WAT time. We're going to be having my intentional parenting journey. Different, people from different walks of life are sharing their journey in the inner circle, what the inner circle have done for them in the past year. So you can come and join us, or you can catch replay right on our YouTube channel. It's been an amazing, we've done 2 days only, and the 2 days has been amazing. All right. You also want to get the Sex Educate series. We have books called Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Walking Your Child to Puberty. You see all those, oh, my child is always sleeping. Oh, my child is not 13. Oh, they are lazy. This is a book that will save you. Trust me. And then, of course, you need to get the Raising series. The Raising series are the series. I think we have 2 more Raising series coming this year. All right. The books of the year are already coming, the books that I'm writing for the year. Amazing, amazing stuff. All right. I have one called Parenting Reset. Parenting Reset is for parents who think that, oh, I've lost it, I've missed it, a lot that have happened to me. Where do I start this intentional parenting thing? I'm late. We'll have something that will amaze you, that will help you to reset and start all over. All right. We have the book Raising Girls. We just finished reading this book in the yard. Yarders, you get it. We did a review of this book. I wrote this book. I read it. And in some parts, I had tears in my eyes reading it. I remember my daughter coming beside me. So these 2 books are usually up beside my bed. So this is my book that I wrote at my 40th, my message, my methods, and my miracles. And then, my daughter came and said, I thought you were the author of the book. I said, yes. She said, why are you reading it and marking it? I said, my dear, you won't get it. Just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. So we have raising the boy, you don't need to bail out. So for those of you who are asking, how about the boys? It's only the girls. No, it is not about the girls or the boy. It's about raising the child that you would need to raise well. All right. And then we have raising the trophy child. That child you think that is perfect, nothing it is that is happening to the child, everything is well with them. Read this book. It will open your eyes to a lot. And then raising the emotionally skilled child. These are the books that we've read in the yard. Interestingly, read and reviewed. We're about to read this soon. The Independent Thinking Child. Very amazing. Did I tell you that we are also about to launch our app, the Intentional Parents Academy? So the Inner Circle program will also is going to have a full-blown app, and that means you're going to have access to resources easy without having to think it through, and everything that you have would just be right there. And we are testing that app in September. So those who register for Inner Circle this particular period will be part of the people who will do the beta testing of our app, give us feedback, and then all of us would actually be able to put it together. So one of the things that we're saying about registration for Inner Circle this year is that it needs to be very, very importantly, you need to be early. If not, you will not know how to use that app. So we are going to actually do a lot of trainings, a lot of, so the beta, so that you're not coming to us in December and harassing our lives. We want to pop by the 1st of December induction. All right. Favor Child said, how do I get your books? Oh, you see the number on the screen? Please send a message to them. I just joined this year, waiting for when to start. It's starting on the 1st of December. What books you recommend for me? Start with Connect to Correct. Connect to Correct is your first point of call. The discipline that works, your second point of call. Discipline is not an emergency. Pierre Yella, add this to your collection. So you can reach out to the number, and then you see the number in comment section, and then you book it. Please book your slots. The Inner Circle fee is increasing. It is increasing from 120,000 to 150,000 at the end of the month. Please book your slot so that you can be part of it. Mind you, we have thousands of people who are already registered. We have field cohort A, B, C, D, E, F. F is about filling up, all right? So the next one will be G. We only take people from cohort A to Z. We won't exceed cohort C because we also want to be able to manage quite the number that we can manage. We currently have A to Z, FYI. So what it means is that we actually have enough people to feel it. So you need to actually be fastest finger things. And once the slots are gone, we will short registration for the year. Registration ends ends in November, sometime in November. But once we start on the 1st of December, we don't take anybody again. It doesn't matter. Even if you pay us triple, people have offered us to pay us 10 times the registration fee so that they can get into the Inner Circle. It's not about your money, and it's not pride. It is just the fact that I'm more interested in your transformation more than you can ever imagine. UK numbers, I like hard copies. Yes, please send us a message. We have link. Look at this distributor's link. When you click on it, you will find the UK distributor there, and you will be able to buy from a UK distributor. All right. So you will be able to get that. Let me go and prepare for my book review. All right. Awesome. Awesome. See you at the book review later today. And yes, remember, we are coming to worry over the weekend. On the 13th weekend, all right? See, let me see the flyer. We are coming to worry. Worry is for the 13th, all right? Worry is for the 13th of September 2025. I cannot wait to be in worry with the team. Everybody is going to be there, all right? And we are going to be having worry in flames, all right? Do we have a flyer here? We're going to be having worry in flames over the month, the weekend of 13th. Please, if you're in Warri or anywhere around Warri, let's be there. Okay, this is so important. The Intentional Parent Academy Summit Warri. All the faces you're seeing on the screen will be in Warri live. Myself, the Golf, which is my husband, Auntie Tima, all right, Coach Ebuka, Coach Dozier, and Coach David. Of course, these are the sons of the prophet, like I like to call them. Yes, we will be there live in Warri. We would also be in the UK. The UK summit is for 25th October. Coach Ebuka is going to be here. We're hoping that But Auntie Tima would also be here. So we are having the TIP Summit UK on the 25th of October 2025 at RCCZ Juare, Birmingham. It will be in Birmingham. You want to be there. You don't want to miss it. All right. You can send us a chat or you can scan this code to be able to register at the TIP Summit UK. This year, we've done TIP Summit Owerri, we've done TIP Summit Canada, we've done TIP Summit USA, and we are about to hit Warri, we're about to hit Uyo, we're about to hit Ilori, and we're about to hit the UK. So we have 4 more places to go. So TIP Summit Uyo is also coming up. Uyo people, are you ready? It's coming up on the 28th. All right. Uyo, are you ready? Are you ready? Coming up on the 28th of September 2025. These are live events. I will be there myself. All right. And all the faculty members will be there with you. Coach Ebuka, myself, the Gov, and Tetima. It's going to be an awesome time. We will get ready. We have not come to play. And then we also have Ilori. Ilori, we will be there in Ilori on the 11th of October. So we'll be in Ilori on the 11th of October. We look forward to actually having all of you. For those of you who are asking where you can get our books, please look at the comment section and you will see, look at my screen, you will see the details on how you can get our books, or click in the comment. You would also see the link, the distributors link. We have distributors in Nigeria, we have distributors in the UK, in Scotland, in Australia, in Zambia, in the US, in Canada. We have 2 distributors in Canada. Wherever you are, you can get a hard copy. It's not hard, right? You can always get a hard copy. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an honor. It's been a blessing. And don't forget to cash in on this early bird, this 24 hours early bird offer. Don't forget to cash in on it. All right. The details to actually make payment is on my screen. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. So instead of 20,500, you are paying 7,999 in 24 hours. Take advantage now, because there are a lot of things that we're going to be creating for you that we also didn't create. You know, the thing about TIP courses is that it evolves. Every year it evolves. And you're also going to get the replay of last year's own, which is the beautiful thing. So you will still get a replay and still get the new insights that you're going to have today. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you in the yard. So these are the cost benefit, free access to 14 worksheets, effective conflict management tools, building strong family bonds, identifying the root cause of rivalry, and then replay of the previous year, and even more. There is so much more, all right, for you to get. You know, the beautiful thing, if you register today, we will give you access to these tools today. All right, you can catch replay. You can also get, you know, these 14 worksheets. Thank you so much for joining me, and do have an amazing day. Yarders, see you right in the yard. Nope, don't go. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. at my intentional parenting journey. Don't miss it for anything.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and it dey show.
TIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?